The National Reptile Zoo is closed to the public because of the threat of the coronavirus, but things have to continue on as normal behind the scenes because the animals don't know the difference. James Hennessy, who's responsible for everything here, you are doing what you do every day basically,
yep,
but just without the public.
Yep, nothing changes for us. Yeah, we still have to feed stuff, still have to make sure they've got water, make sure their bedding is changed. You know, these guys don't know any different.
Yeah, they just continue on as normal, and you guys just have to come in every day, make sure everything is done and they're fed. This particular species, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so we've got frilled dragons. We've got, these are from Australia, Papua New Guinea. We've got 6 little guys in here. So we've got 1 male and 5 females. Okay. And we're going to feed these guys, well, they get different things each day, or every second day. Today we've got some juicy little mice.
Okay, I don't want to know. As a non-meat eater, that's actually really offensive. But so in the wild, what would their habitat be like? Obviously, this is their particular habitat here, but what would they?
So, we try and recreate it as well. Yeah, so in the wild, you're looking at forests. Okay. So you know, lots of climbing branches, kind of slightly humid environment, and we season that as well. We change it so we give them a dry season and a wet season like they have in the wild. And
what sort of temperatures are they used to?
So quite well. The idea with reptiles, they got to thermoregulate, so they got to have a temperature gradient. So you're going from down to about 26 degrees all the way up to about 35. Actually, and underneath some of the basking lamps, where this guy's underneath, you're looking at up to almost 50 degrees.
They seem very happy. You know, you always kind of imagine that when animals like this are out of their natural habitat, that there would be a sense of discomfort, but they seem all very happy and they adjust very well. So,
well, if you actually think about them, they're not actually adjusting at all, because as far as they're concerned, you know, we've recreated their natural habitat. So they are in there, as far as they're concerned, they're in their natural habitat, and that's the key for what we've got to do. You know, we have to provide their natural habitat.
Okay, so you're going to feed them.
Yep.
And also you have one here that was with the vet.
Yeah.
So what's the issue?
We're going to have a quick look at her as well. So she's a damaged toe, which we're not sure how she did it. Possibly a bite from one of her friends. She may have gotten caught in a branch. You know, it just happens naturally as it would in the wild. So we just kind of keep an eye on it. She's got a little bit of a swelling, so we've got her on antibiotics, and we want to make sure that she's responding well to it.
Is that sort of a normal injury that you'd see with this species or with a species like this?
In species in general, yeah. So if you've got animals who are, you know, we keep them as they would live in the wild. So they're jumping, they're climbing, they're digging, they're doing whatever else they would do in the wild. So, you know, just like us, if you let your kids out into the garden, they come back in with scratches, cuts and bumps.
So what's this guy trying to tell me? Because he keeps jumping around. What's he trying to say?
I think he knows what's going on. He knows
he's getting excited about food.
He's getting ready for a bit of his little furry friends.
Yeah. So you feed them every second day. So they by the time they're ready to be fed, they must be really looking forward to it and kind of.
Not quite. So yeah. So it's not like us. So everybody looks at them and they think about how they respond. So we're thinking, if you're not getting fed that often, you must be getting really hungry after day 2. So reptiles are different. They metabolize their food totally differently to the way we do. They're getting most of their energy from the heat that's in that habitat. So yeah, so with them it's more conditioning. So he sees things like the bowls, the tweezers, the staff coming in, and that's like the key to, oh, that must mean there's food coming. Okay. So that's what he's doing at the moment. And
like, would they discern between the staff, and they'd know? Are there people who are sort of with them more often, like they'd recognize you and?
They can do it to a degree, yeah. So it depends on the species, but these guys specifically, they're pretty easygoing. They're used to being handled by everybody, so they treat us all pretty much the same.
Okay, okay, let's do this then. So this is somewhere that the public never get access to. It's keepers only. So where are we?
Yep. So this is the off-show section. So this is where we get access to each habitat. So you can see all the different doors, all the different locks, and everything else is different. Yeah. But so this is where, if we need to get in with an animal, you know, this is how we access it.
Okay. And each of the habitats have their own sort of thermostat. Yeah. And it's regulated. The temperature is regulated.
Yeah. So they're all digitally controlled. And they're all, you know, specific to where the animal comes from, and they're all within half a degree Celsius. They're actually quite accurate.
So what temperature are these guys at?
We're at 23 to 24.
Okay, so it's quite hot.
Yeah.
Okay, well, should we
give
feed
them some
them?
food? Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got 6 of them. Who do you want to start with?
I don't know.
We've no preference. So we'll see who responds first. These guys they're well used to people. We use them for the public, so we take them out for animal encounters. So we get people to get a chance to actually touch and handle these. So yeah, so they're not too pushed. They're pretty chilled. Yeah, so we'll give them a mouse each, a little fuzzy mouse each. We're going to give the male. The male's a bit bigger. He's going to get 2. So we'll see how they respond. So sometimes this is like a treat for them. Their main diet is mostly crickets, locusts and things like that. So mostly insects, and then every now and again they get these as a nice juicy treat. What we got to be careful of is that we do have a dominant male in here, but if we make him too dominant, is that he'll make the others less likely to feed. So we just got to keep an eye on that.
Okay.
But they're all pretty good usually. So we'll just see how they respond first. So we're going to get their interest. So we can see their. Come on, girl. So you got to get them to work for it a little bit as well. What's this little girl here? So this is their girl who's actually injured. We'll have a look at her in a minute. So she's feeding well, which is good. So usually a sign of, if they're not happy or if they're in pain, usually the first sign for us is that they don't feed. We just get up here one. So then we're just going to give the male his 2. So we're going to get him to, he's at the window because that's where we were. So I'm going to try and get him to work for a little bit. We don't want him getting lazy. Come on, mate.
Okay, so now that they've been fed and they start to digest, do they sort of get into a more kind of dormant phase for an hour or 2? Like, what happens to them?
Not quite dormant. No, they will be a little bit less active.
Okay.
So, because it's a big meal. That's the equivalent of us eating 2 quarter-pounders. So yeah, they just sit back and digest it for a little bit. They're still active, not quite dormant though. So yeah, so we're going to have a look at our little female then, just with her leg. So we're not going to move or anything like that. Just want to see how her leg is looking. The swelling is coming down, so I can see that from here. But we'll have a closer look.
And the fact that obviously she's eating as normal, that's a really good sign.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, if she was in pain, the first sign we would see is that she'd go off her food.
Is she taking any medication? Has she been giving anything?
Yeah, so she's on antibiotics at the moment, just in case she's got an infection in it, and she's due a vet visit then on Monday, so a couple of days' time.
But what's the risk for you guys with the animals here and with the virus? Like, have you talked about that? And
for as far as we know, there's no cross contamination between animal and human from reptile point of view. There isn't a lot. There's a lot of stuff like salmonella, botulism, things like that, but not with COVID. We haven't seen any. Okay. Not that we know of, unfortunately.
They're so inquisitive. Like, it's amazing how alert they are, because I think we have this impression that because they're so unusual to us, we don't know about them, we think there's less going on, but they're so active and so aware of what's happening.
And if you look at them as well, I don't know if you kind of noticed, as alert as they are, you'll see those little head movements and those head twitches, but the rest of their bodies are staying dead still. So they rely massively on their camouflage. So all this frill on the side of their neck, all these uneven shapes, what it does is it helps them blend into the tree. So they don't want to be seen by a predator. At the same time, they still want to catch their food, so it's a kind of a trade-off for them. So you just see the head twitch and move and watch what's going on, but they'll try and keep still as they can until the last second.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just get a look at her foot. So it's still quite swollen. Okay, sorry, girl.
So what do you think?
It's still swollen, so we're gonna have to take her up. So it's coming down a bit, all right. Yeah, the infection is definitely going down, but I think it's going to need the vet for sure.
Okay. But, what do you think? Maybe
we took an X-ray already. We're going to get another X-ray because we can see better once the swelling has gone down. It may need the tip of the toe actually taken. It just depends on the damage. So this looks like you can actually see where there's a little cut on the toe. So. Yeah,
but it doesn't seem to be, affecting her. Like, she's able to hang on there. She's
So no, exactly. Yeah. So that's what we got to watch. So for us, it's fine at the moment. So we got to preempt something that might happen in a week's time. So we're going to be ahead of that. Okay. So we're going to make sure we don't get to a stage that it's affecting her. So that's the important thing.
It's funny, like when something like that happens, you can see how important the tail is for balance and all of that. It's incredible, actually.
Yeah, and it's not. Yeah, people wonder why is their tail so long? And it's literally as they move about, it's like a counterbalance to help them.
So the features that are unusual to this species, I mean, maybe you just tell.
Yeah, I mean, obviously frilled dragon. So straight off the bat, it's going to be that frill on the neck. But everyone thinks, well, it is used for defense, so it frills up like an umbrella. So if they got scared, it would actually frill out. It makes them look twice the size. It scares off a predator. They actually tend to stand up on their back legs as well and run with their frill out, which is hilarious looking, unless you're a predator and then you run away. But it's not just used for defense. So I don't know if you see you'll see with the way they're against those branches, that frill helps them. It makes them look like bark, which is really cool as well. But the other thing is they've got those big long legs at the back, as I said, helps them run bipedally, which means on 2 legs. So if you put them on the ground, if they got scared, they would stand up, little hands in front of them, and run across the floor, which is amazing to see. Like we don't see it here much because it's a defensive mechanism. So the odd time if one's getting away from the other, you'll see them running away.
Because they're so comfortable, they don't feel threatened in any way. So
yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't see as many defensive behaviours in captivity, which is a good thing.
So the frilled dragons are fed, and you've had a look at the one that had the injury, the foot, and you're happy enough. So
yeah, we'll take her to the vet again, but yep, it is what it is. Yeah, with her.
So obviously people are at home, and we're not able to go outside, and we're trying to keep away from everybody, and hopefully keep this thing at bay.
Contained,
hopefully, yeah. I mean, it's quite scary, but for you guys, I mean, you're dealing with hygiene issues all the time, kind of, you're hypersensitive to this all the time because you're dealing with these animals. What would you say to people at home who this is completely new to them to behave in this way?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably no harm to get into that habit anyway with the hygiene. I mean, we've got our areas segregated into different sections. Gloves are changed between different habitats. There's different equipment used in different sections, so there's no cross contamination. And for us, it's the norm. But yeah, for people at home, it's the same thing. It's just a habit. Yeah. You do get into it, and you get into it quite easy.
So there's no need to worry. Once you behave the way you're asked to behave and take the correct measures, there's no need to be living in fear. And
exactly. I mean, these various viruses, bacteria are ongoing. They're always going to be around. So it's a good habit to get into. For definite.
So for anybody then who is watching at home and wants to follow you guys, you're on social media. You're on Instagram,
Facebook, Twitter. Yep.
Everywhere.
Our website, YouTube. So
look for the National Reptile Zoo or for James Hennessy, and also people can go onto the website, and if they want to adopt any of the animals, they can do that.
Yeah, which is a big thing at the moment for us, because I mean, obviously we're closed to the public, so we still got to feed these guys and heat these guys. So we're kind of relying on the support of the public at the moment, like through things like adoptions and gift certs and so on.
So when hopefully we get to go back to normal, and the place
will be soon, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, and the place is open again. The zoo is open to the public. You can come in and actually visit and spend time with the animal that you've adopted, which would be quite interesting, and I think a lovely thing to do.
Yeah, it's nice to follow how they get on and stuff, because they do all have their own individual little, idiosyncrasies, their own little personalities.
And it's funny because in the few months that you've been open here in the new premises, watching the public come in and kids, there are some species that really just stick out for some people, that they really they love.
Everybody's different, and they take something different from a different type of animal. Yeah, it's really cool in that way.
Okay, so we're going to follow you over the next couple of days as you feed all the other animals. We'll learn a little bit more about them as well and their habitat. So thanks for this at the moment.
Yeah, excellent.
And hopefully we won't be doing this for too long. But it's just a great resource for people, I think, to see what's happening and to learn a little bit more.
Well, it's nice to be able to see it off show as well, and what actually goes on behind the scenes, which is important.
Okay, so James Hennessy at the National Reptile Zoo on all social media platforms.